I am even willing to be your dog. There are monsters everywhere in this school. Only you are different. I can't be without you. I will be obedient. I will listen to everything you say." In the letter, Jun Jiegwe kept crying and pleading. It is possible that at that time, Meng Tingshin had already confirmed being with someone else. She was beginning to grow tired of this obedient slave who always followed her. The letter was written sincerely. Unfortunately, the other party never even bothered to open and read the letter. "I have a premonition. A tragedy is about to unfold. 6th letter, I've had enough. If you continue to be with Meng Tingshin, don't blame me for doing something that you will regret forever. I will destroy you both. The man is about to meet his doom. Jun Jiegwe will do something. I can't guess the answer. So I opened the 7th letter. You saw it. Fresh red blood covered the whole table. The police also came. But who would suspect me? I, who have always been bullied, the weakest and least noticeable, suddenly became a murderer. Ha! Meng Tingshin, I will make you regret. I will kill all the bastards who seduced you. I am your knight. You are my noble princess. Open the 8th letter. You asked me what I can do for you. I can give my own life for you. The small gift inside the envelope is proof of my determination. I shook the envelope. There was indeed something inside. I poured it out onto the table. With one glance at the phone, I could see that half of a severed finger was wrapped in layers of plastic wrap. It was a small finger that had been cut off. Despite being rotten and deformed, I could still recognize it at a glance. The 8th letter is very concise. But from what I can infer, Meng Tingshin's attitude towards Jun Jiegwe is still lukewarm. She even seems a bit annoyed. I open the last love letter. I know you've never liked me, Meng Tingshin. I understand now. I no longer expect anything. You are just like them. You are even more despicable than them. Accept my last gift. It is not only for you, but also for all those who have bullied me. I have taken the antidote sent by the Buddha. I will drown myself in the clean water tank. I will curse all of you with the devil's curse. I will be waiting for you in hell. I will be watching each and every one of you in pain. After reading these 9 letters, I feel both horrified and a little regretful. If Meng Tingshin could have opened the envelopes and taken a look earlier, maybe this tragedy could have been prevented. I repeatedly read the last letter. One sentence in it caught my attention. He drank the antidote sent by the Buddha. I have never heard of any Buddhist master who would cruelly kill innocent people for personal reasons and refuse to enter reincarnation, lingering in the campus where he used to live. This does not sound like something the Buddha would do. Vaguely in my heart, I thought of the first live streaming task. The two-faced Buddha in the tunnels of Anshin Hotel. I always feel a certain connection. When reading the following letters, Xiaomu was also by my side. He also mocked Jun Jiegwe in his words. How do you think he could take revenge on the whole school alone? Xiaomu curiously touched the severed finger on the table. Oh my God. How disgusting. The letter clearly states it. He should have drunk some kind of poison. Then jumped into the clean water tank. As a result, anyone who drank the school tap water that day became delirious. Mentally confused. I estimate those people in the health room. They jumped off the building because they mistakenly drank tap water. I smiled faintly at the corners of my mouth and asked in return. He said, Do you think I'm right? Xiaomu nodded earnestly. Why didn't I think of that? You definitely didn't think of it. I chuckled lightly, pretending as if nothing happened, and continued. If you had guessed that day, you definitely wouldn't have gone to drink the school's tap water. That's true. As soon as Xiaomu finished speaking, the air in the dorm room suddenly solidified. It was so quiet that you could almost hear a pin drop. When did you find out? Xiaomu finally said embarrassedly after more than 10 seconds. From the moment I saw the 4 of you, I started to have doubts. I moved back to the door and distanced myself from Xiaomu. The area around Xinhua School is all wasteland. No matter which direction you come from, your feet will definitely get dirty with mud. And on the classroom corridor where we meet, it is clean and tidy. There is only one set of shoe prints, which belonged to me. Therefore, it can be inferred that you did not come in from outside but instead already existed on the campus. So I won't believe any of you, whether it's the 3 of you or Ing Zi. Xiao Mu's face darkened as he slowly lowered his head. The light was already dim, and now it looked even more frightening. You knew early on that we weren't human. Why did you still choose to actively participate in our game? Why did you help us search for Mingxin? Life is like a drama. It all depends on acting skills. As an ordinary person without any special abilities, I can only survive here by using my wits. I didn't reveal your identities to gain the upper hand by playing games with you. I wanted to make you lower your guard, relax, and find it enjoyable, so that you wouldn't have the heart to kill me. Xiao Mu's face turned increasingly ugly. Uneven patches started to appear on her fair skin. So you've been deceiving us all this time. What's wrong? Rage out of embarrassment. I waved my hand. It's not deceiving. Just playing with you little devils. Upon hearing my words, Xiao Mu walked towards me step by step. His clothes became tattered, and it seemed like fresh blood was flowing from under his feet. Xiao Mu. In my eyes, you are the smartest among all the ghosts. Don't do anything foolish. Since I have made everything clear, I naturally have an escape route for myself. Remember when I asked about your father's name? Your surname is Wang. Your full name is Xiaomu Wang. The school uniform on the second bed in the infirmary belongs to you. And Fei Shui Mengxin. Your traces can be found throughout the school. You are the victims from 5 years ago. You are souls cursed by Junjie, unable to be reincarnated even after death. If we can both benefit, you can kill me. Imprison my soul here as well. But before that, I have a proposal. Let me help you all break free. Aid you in achieving enlightenment. Xiao Mu stopped in his tracks. Lost in contemplation. The livor mortis on his body began to fade. My anxious heart finally began to settle. I was very curious when I received the optional task notification from the Underworld show. Why does the task require playing games on campus? What game to play, whom to play with, and how to play? It's eerie there. It seems impossible for other living people to be around. So the answer is simple. I have to play games with ghosts, and the more I play, the better. At first, I did follow the instructions as requested. But as the mysterious veil of the campus slowly lifted, I discovered that there are not just 1 or 2 ghosts on campus. And there may be irreconcilable conflicts between them. One side is the perpetrator who caused the whole tragedy, while the other side is just a victim imprisoned here. If my guess is correct, lurking behind the scenes is Junjie, and their existence is just for the sake of putting on a show for Junjie, continuously repeating fear and despair to cleanse their own guilt. I eventually persuaded Xiao Mu to return to normal. But if I don't help them before dawn, I probably won't escape death either. Can you please make the female ghost in a red dress at the door leave to show your sincerity? At this point, the red hem of the dress is no longer visible in the phone camera lens. But it's hard to guarantee that she isn't hiding in a place where the camera can't see. If the door is opened, she might attack directly. Xiao Mu's expression is eerie. That thing. It's the first time I've seen it in the school, too. She isn't Mengxin, right? Things are a bit different from what I imagined. Mengxin is already dead. Or I should say the she of tonight is already dead. I don't quite understand. What do you mean by that? Xiao Mu sighed with a bitter face. We are just feeble thoughts. Every night, Junjie releases us to experience unbearable fear, like a recurring nightmare. Tortured thoughts that cannot bear dissipate, signifying death. After a moment of thought, I asked again, if Mengxin and Fei Shui won't appear again tonight, could the red dress belong to another one of your classmates? Xiao Mu shook his head and stated a crucial point. The cursed students are all wearing school uniforms. Only the outsiders are different, like Yingzi. I've never been able to figure out her background. Yingzi, who is as quiet as if living in a dream, is also an outsider. When did she appear? About a year ago. She said she came here to wait for someone. But don't be deceived by her appearance. That person might seem gentle and harmless, but in reality, she is filled with heavy resentment. Even we have to keep our distance. As adults, Xiao Mu and I have different ways of thinking. Xianhu High School hides all kinds of grudges. What is their purpose? Surely there are treasures in this school that are useful to evil spirits, which is why trouble has come. I have never heard of any treasures in our school. It's just that there was a man when the school was first built. Pointing at the main entrance of our school, he said that someone had occupied his family's ancestral grave. He cursed for 3 days and 3 nights. Later, he was taken away by security guards. Xiaomu shrugged her shoulders and said, I found that you are curious about everything. You might as well not be a streamer. You should go do voiceovers for 100,000 Ys instead. I coughed a few times to cover up my embarrassment. Being lectured by a little rascal is really something. Feeling a bit uncomfortable, getting back to the point. Since you are all cursed by Junjiegua, as long as we find him, many issues can be easily resolved. You can't find him. We have been wandering around this school. We haven't found any trace of him in 5 years. We only know that he is secretly watching us from the shadows. But we don't know where he is hiding. I can empathize with Xiaomu's despair to some extent, don't worry. When it comes to finding missing persons or searching for bodies, I am an expert. The collective death incident at Xianhu High School has not been made public. Dealing with so many bodies, they definitely cannot transport them out in a high-profile manner. On-site cremation is the most secure method. So we are preparing to first go to Junjiegua. Look at the drowning net sink. And then go to the school's burning trench to handle the garbage. The girl in the red dress may have already left. Let's hurry out. I grabbed the handle, turned the lock, pulled the door open, grabbed the camera, and ran towards the stairs. Run quickly. She hasn't left yet. It seems she's following. Without looking back, I knew who Xiaomu was referring to. I sprinted desperately, taking 3 to 4 steps at a time. Finally, I managed to run out of the girls' dormitory safely, with some excitement but no danger. Go to the water treatment center immediately. Don't get caught up. I habitually picked up Ingzi, who was sitting on the roadside, and ran towards the distance. Don't get excited. It looks like she didn't chase after us. Look back. The figure in red is standing at the window of the girls' dormitory on the 2nd floor. It seems to be waving at me. I shuddered all over. This time I saw it clearly. The woman was not wearing a long skirt but a set of bright red bridal clothes like blood. I don't know why, but I always feel her figure is somewhat familiar. I pushed aside this strange thought. Guided by Xiaomu, I arrived at the water treatment center. After pushing open the door, I saw a small room with water pipes arranged inside. In the innermost part was a boiler for heating water. Connected to the boiler were several large water tanks. It was in here that he drowned. Climbing onto the water tank, I opened the only 1-foot-wide water inlet. A strong foul smell emanated from it. I used my phone to shine inside. There was not a drop of water in the huge water tank, just pitch-black darkness where nothing could be seen. I asked the 2 of them to wait outside while I climbed in. The 1-foot-wide opening barely allowed me to pass through. I struggled to climb inside. The space was dark and tightly closed. Feelings of oppression and fear emerged. It may have been a long time since it was last opened. The oxygen inside the water tank was thin. I endured the painful feeling of suffocation. I picked up my phone and hurriedly searched for useful things. The ground beneath my feet was slippery. I was half bent over. There was a tattered school uniform inside. I was about to reach out for it when suddenly a boy's voice sounded in my ear. Why are you trying to kill me? Who? I instantly turned my head to look around, but there was nothing. And just then, the only exit above my head. The 1-foot-wide water inlet, bang, sound. It was closed by someone from outside. In the dark space, I frantically hit the iron sheet on the water tank. Opened the lid quickly. But there was no response from anyone. The air isn't circulating in here. After I shouted several times, I unexpectedly felt dizzy. I couldn't catch my breath. The tank is not too big. But I couldn't find the exit no matter how hard I tried. I groped inch by inch until my face turned pale and purple, with blood vessels bursting. I began to suffer from severe oxygen deficiency. Rubbing my cheeks with both hands, my nails digging out bloody scratches. I wanted to scream but couldn't make a sound. In my haze, that voice came again. Why do you want to kill me? A small flow of blood suddenly appeared before my eyes. The blood-soaked boy jumped into the water tank. He closed the lid with his own hands and slowly sank into the dark, icy water. Loneliness and fear enveloped him tightly. In the face of death, his body instinctively began to struggle. His cries for help echoed in the air. No one responded. Until all organs ceased to function. The body lost its warmth and became stiff. And right at that moment, the stiff body floated to my side. With eyes bulging like those of a dead fish, it stared at me. Me, why did you want to kill me? I instinctively wanted to push him away. But my body couldn't move at all. A pair of cold hands grabbed my neck, making it hard for me to breathe. Why are you trying to kill me? The shouting echoed in my ears, deafening. Thud. A crisp slap. The darkness in front of my eyes shattered like a mirror. A familiar little face appeared before me. Ingzi. I only then realized that I was lying on the ground inside an iron can. My body was damp. The boy, the voice, the scene from before, all seemed like just a hallucination of mine. I got up and knelt on the ground. I took big breaths of air. Just now, I seemed to have seen the scene of Jun Jiegua's death. He was struggling and screaming desperately, saying that you killed him. Everyone at Xianhu High School is feeling threatened. Who would still care about him? Besides, if we had killed him earlier, perhaps the tragedy would not have happened. Xiao Mu's words also make some sense. Jun Jiegua has always been secretly watching us. He won't let you investigate smoothly. Hearing Xiao Mu say this, I have just realized the danger clearly. It is possible at any time to be harmed by that vengeful spirit. I found the dropped phone. I picked up the tattered school uniform on the ground again. This should be Jun Jiegua's relic. Lay the school uniform flat on the iron can. There is nothing unusual on the back. But there is a dark bloodstain near the chest. I find it a bit strange. The bloodstain is evenly distributed and does not look like it was caused by a piercing wound from a sharp object. I compared the school uniform to my body. I pressed down on the area with the darkest bloodstain with my hand. This position is where my heart is. What kind of wound could cause even bleeding and be difficult to heal? A word flashed in my mind, skinning. Associating the act of Jun Jiegua cutting off his pinky as a gift to Meng Tingxin, this is completely the behavior of a lunatic. A twisted mind disregarding any consequences. I searched through the pockets of the school uniform. Inside was a class photo. It's a pity that it was soaked in water for too long. Everyone's faces in it have become blurry. If I'm not mistaken, this should be the medium for a curse. It aims to bring misfortune to everyone in the photo. I put the photo away. After searching everywhere, there were no more clues. It's time for the nightmare at Burning Trench to come to an end. Burning Trench is located at the deepest part of the campus. The ground is overgrown with weeds, giving a sense of desolation. The cold wind blows through clothes, and the thought of numerous bodies buried in the ground below makes me hasten my steps. 2 bungalows are tightly attached to the school wall. The gate is locked, and there are strange seals on the windows. Xiao Mu's face becomes ugly as we approach Burning Trench. There are signs of cracking on his once flawless skin. Streamer, we can't accompany you any further. We can't enter this house. Xiao Mu's reaction is probably related to the seals on the windows. I walked closer to take a look. All the seals were covered with strange runes. Because of a previous experience at the Anexian Hotel, I didn't rashly tear them off. I took out my phone to seek help in the live chat room. I asked if there were any professionals who understood it. But there were quite a few people boasting and pretending to know, hardly any reliable ones. Is Taoist Lu here? Is Taoist Lu of Qingqing Mountain here? I now understand the benefits of having a Taoist around. Unfortunately, he is not online today. Yuan Chen Soul Summoning Talisman. The mere low-level talisman paper tour, it's no big deal. One of the comments in all the barrage caught my attention. The person who sent the barrage is called Taoist Priest Wan Yi. This person has a very arrogant tone. Open his mouth and it's like giving people a sunrise in the east. The confident tone of a superior person who never fails. A matter of life and death. What good strategies do you viewers have? Call the police. Our signature in the live stream room is to call the police as soon as there is a disagreement. What kind of police should we call? You listen to me. Knock the door 3 times first. Then use internal force to shake off evil spirits with your backside facing backwards. It is said that one should knock on the door where there are few widows at night. To become a person above others. I want to refer to classics and guide you. The barrage is flying fast. I stand at the door, afraid to make any rash movements. Especially pay attention to the ID Taoist priest Wani. Yuanqin is one of the deities, Shisha, in Batzi, Chinese astrology. Also known as the Hao, Great Loss. It is considered extremely ominous. When encountering other malevolent forces, disasters and misfortunes intensify. It is especially inauspicious during the decline of a favorable cycle, De Yun. For men, it brings ugliness, confusion between right and wrong, vulgarity in speech, shamelessness, gluttony, and degenerate behavior. For women, it often results in numerous calamities, a harsh and masculine voice, promiscuity, lack of propriety, and rebellious offspring. If a corpse is kept in the house and the person carried Yuanqin in their fate while alive, they will transform into a die-bound malevolent spirit after death, harboring extreme resentment. Ordinary talisman paper is completely useless. This Yuanqin soul-summoning talisman is also a temporary solution and does not address the root cause. It can only temporarily trap it for now. I am staring at the barrage of Taoist priest Wani. Although I can't see the clues, I feel that he is much more reliable than others. I do not know how to destroy the Yuanqin spirit of deity. Taoist priest Wani, do you have any clever methods? I am being humble. If I act aloof at this time and accidentally offend someone, it would be really bad. Kid. You, an ordinary person, dare to oppose Yuanqin. Ridiculous. Taoist priest. If you really understand the Tao, then please enlighten me. I am extremely grateful. I am not well versed in the ways of the Tao. However, I have been studying it for the past 50 years. There are few cultivators who can compare with me. That's it. Today, this deity will teach you a technique called dangerous rebirth. Many viewers in the live broadcast room are disdainful of this nonsense. A haughty voice emanates a contemptuous expression. I am drumming in my heart, wondering if this person is a severely affected second-year syndrome patient or a Taoist priest with true abilities. You kid have no skill. Lack of expertise. If you want to break Evil Star, you need to have the courage to act alone with determination in order to break the Evil Star. Rising against adversity. Only by going against the odds can one find a glimmer of hope among certain death. Taoist priest. You don't need to evaluate me. Just tell me what to do. Evil Star is fierce. Without ghosts in one's destiny, transformation cannot be achieved. I want your heart to be free of distractions. Fearless and unafraid. From the mountain of corpses and ghostly servants, find the corpse that carries Yuanqin. And then carry it as you go. Shoulder the corpse. Find a place where you can see the clear light. And drop it from a high point. If it shatters into pieces, you will have no worries tonight. If its resentment gathers and does not disperse, then you will surely die. Let me run around with a corpse on my back and bare hands. This is really hard for me to accept. Do I have to carry it? If you feel uncomfortable, you can also hold it in your arms. But remember not to let the corpse touch the ground under your feet. This place has been eroded by the Evil Star for too long. It is easy to give birth to other changes. I have an inexplicable sense of foreboding in my heart. But now that things have come to this, there is no other choice. Take a deep breath and adjust my mindset. I tore off the seal of the talisman paper on the window and flipped into the bungalow. The smaller room outside is where the workers rest. There is nothing unusual. But just a door away, the room inside is covered with seals. Beside it, there is a sign hanging specifically for casual passers-by to not enter. I walked into the inner room. A strong stench rushed into my nostrils. 5 years have not dissipated the smell, but rather the closed environment has fermented an even more unpleasant odor. I furrowed my brows and concentrated, recalling the words of Taoist priest Wani. Stay single-minded, go against adversity, only then can you find a glimmer of hope in 9 deaths. Fight it. I tore off the talisman paper on the door and pushed open the wooden door separating the inner room. The hellish scene that had been sealed for 5 years appeared before me. Traces of the fire burning. Gasoline splashed on the bodies. Resentment gathers. Like dark clouds covering the roof. Everything in front of me is too real and cruel. Despite having seen so many crime scenes, I still feel extremely uncomfortable. When touching the first piece of charcoal shaped like a human body, I felt like I entered another grimy world. Cannot give up. Cannot be afraid. Find him. My human emotions are tormented and interrogated, desperately using the last vestiges of rationality to stay alert, making myself search the room like a machine. I do not know what Junjigwa looks like. Any image related to him at the school has been deliberately erased. But I have a crucial clue in my hands. A palm-sized piece of skin was peeled off in the area of his chest where the heart is. I need to find a left rib bone. A body without skin attachment. During this period, I must not show fear, nor waver. The timeline is infinitely extended. My mind is starting to become confused. I can no longer distinguish whether I am alive or dead. I just keep repeating the same actions. My hands are dark. I don't know which body I'm examining. I have no idea how much time I've spent. When I reached the corner of the wall, a slender and well-preserved skeleton came into view. I dragged the body out. The face was burnt beyond recognition. Nothing could be discerned. But my gaze moved down to his chest. One side was charred flesh stuck to the bones. The other side was empty. Not even the heart could be found. I found it. The moment I lifted up the body. The entire room began to sway. Resentful energy churned as if something was about to awaken. The talisman papers on the walls moved on their own without wind. Some of the talismans even emitted a faint red light. The windows made a banging sound. I can't care about that much. After making sure the corpse wouldn't touch the ground, I decisively hoisted it onto my back. Shoulder the corpse. I took a step forward into the burning trench. All the glass in the flat behind me shattered. In that instant, all the talisman paper turned into ashes. Find a place where you can see the clear light. It's where the moonlight shines. Hurry to the top floor of the teaching building. I ran frantically. Life and death are at stake now. Every second counts. Junjigwa, transformed into the Yuanshan evil star, will soon realize something. By then, Ingzi and I will have no chance of winning. Black smoke billowed inside the burning trench. Resentment condensed into various shapes. Xiaomu's screams echoed in my ears. I dared not look back and ran straight to the teaching building without saying a word. A loud noise came from behind. Black smoke rose in the cottage. Junjigwa, transformed into the Yuanshan evil star, broke free from the trap. Xiaomu's face turned pale. It's over. I'm done for this time. There's still a chance. The body is his only weakness. Gritting my teeth, I finally managed to run into the teaching building. I climbed up the rickety, cracked stairs. The cold wind howled behind me, like a wolf chasing after me. The weight on my back grew heavier and heavier. My legs trembled. The feeling of being trapped in a water tank seemed to be creeping back. Hang in there. I bit my tongue hard, blood filling my mouth. The pain helped me stay alert at the last moment. First floor. Second floor. Third floor. Fourth floor. Only the staircase to the top floor is left in front of me. These final 12 steps will become the battleground between me and the ghost. 1 step, 2 steps. My legs feel heavy as if filled with lead, making it hard to move forward. I turn my head and see the lingering resentment has transformed into a malicious ghost crawling on the ground, swiftly chasing after me on all fours. The off-key voice of Xiaomu rings in my ears. His body is torn into pieces by the evil ghost, scattering like snowflakes. The evil ghost roars. A small figure stands before him. Ingzi let out a sharp scream. Her face was as white as paper, with only a pair of dark and hollow eye sockets remaining. Astonishing resentment surged from her small body, as if a bloody butterfly flew out of a shattered cocoon. The evil spirit's footsteps were abruptly blocked. The two sides unexpectedly found themselves in a deadlock. I do not know what is happening behind me at this moment. I only feel as if I am carrying a huge mountain on my back. Lifting my leg. Falling down. The footsteps have become heavy and slow. 4 steps, 5 steps. 8 steps, 9 steps. There is only 1 step left out of the total 12 steps. Ingzi is still in combat with the demon. 1 foot stepped on the 12th step. I used all my strength to take the next step forward. But when I looked down, there unexpectedly appeared the 13th step beneath my feet. I was filled with disbelief. I clearly remembered that there were only 12 steps during the previous investigation. I never expected that there would be an additional step now. According to legend, the additional step on the campus stairs at midnight is said to be the gateway to hell. I am staring at the additional step on the stairs right now. I am hesitating whether to take the final step. The crashing sound downstairs is gradually weakening. Xiaomu's soul has been torn apart. Ingzi was sent flying like a ragdoll. The grudge of the evil star in the distance changes. The black smoke dissipates. The fierce demon transforms into a thin and weak boy. It was you who killed me. It was also you who drove me to death. You must pay the price. The boy keeps repeating similar words. The grudge continues to intensify. Suddenly, the body on the back moved. He viciously grabbed my neck. It's not fair that they bullied you. But the killings were done by you alone. How much resentment do you actually have? Taking so many lives and not stopping. I gave up resisting. I knew with my own strength it's impossible to escape death today. You all deserve to die. You deserve it. It's all your fault. The boy is getting closer step by step. The darkness completely covered my eyes. He walked slowly to my side. But he didn't kill me immediately. Instead, he stepped onto the 13th step. In that moment, the path to the rooftop was sealed off. A pitch-black cave, as if suspended in midair, appeared. Looking inside, pale-faced souls in school uniforms were crying. They were forever imprisoned here. I realized I had stepped onto the 13th step. Can I really see another world? This was the only thought in my mind. Breathing became difficult. I felt as if I was slowly being sucked into that cave entrance. Just as half of my body was about to enter, a clear and familiar voice suddenly sounded in the distance. Jian Gao. Who is calling me? I opened my eyes groggily. I could only see at the end of the dark night. A red dress was blooming like a blaze. My consciousness is becoming increasingly blurred. The charred body on my back is slowly dragging me towards the 13th step. The imprisoned soul inside is pounding against an invisible barrier. It seems like there is an unseen gate between two worlds. At this moment, I feel my heart beating slower and slower. My eyelids are heavy. An unprecedented drowsiness washes over me. So tired. I just want to sleep now. Never need to wake up again. Jian Gao, crucial moment. That voice sounds once again. But half of my body has been drawn into the world of the dead souls. Ice cold. Bitingly cold. Throat parched. Like being submerged at the bottom of a dark lake. Can't say a word. Jian Gao, someone has been calling my name all along. Not an illusion. Definitely heard it. I waved my hands as if drowning. But my body kept sinking uncontrollably. Just like a scene from a nightmare. Continuously falling into a bottomless abyss. Grab my hand. Dark ripples spread across the lake. A burst of fiery red in an instant. Reflected in my lifeless eyes. Occupying all my field of vision. I instinctively covered my eyes. However, my palm touched the flames in front of me. There was no burning pain, only warmth. It is the hand of a woman. I grab it. Long-lost warmth spreads throughout my body. My heart is revitalized. I tightly grasp that flame. All the darkness in front of me is burned away by the fire. I am suddenly startled and abruptly open my eyes. I breathe in the air deeply. The body on my back is still there. However, the 13 steps leading to another world are gone. In their place is a piece of human skin peeled off from the chest, carved with intricate patterns. Now I understand. The piece of skin that disappeared from Junjiegua's body is pasted on the path that leads to the rooftop. He used this cursed piece of human skin to trap the souls of wrongly dead students. Who saved me just now? Looking up, two figures, one black and one red, are fiercely battling on the stairs. The black one is the evil ghost Yuanqing, evil star of Junjiegua. And wearing a large red wedding dress is a woman similarly haunted by resentment. It turns out to be Little Foam. Red Luan and Heavenly Joy. The tone of Taoist priest Wani in the live stream room finally changed. Not calm anymore, the evil star of Batsi illuminates the red Luan. What is this streamer's fate pattern? A common person is unlikely to encounter one of the evil stars in their lifetime. This person, however, encountered it in just a few hours. Encountered two different evil stars in a row. Moreover, the fate patterns are in conflict, unexpectedly transforming calamity into good luck. Red Luan and Heavenly Joy is also one of the evil stars in Batsi, although not as fierce as Yuanshin. But it can govern bloodshed. In a fight, it will not be at a disadvantage in the short term. I do not know how Little Feng managed to catch up. At this time, there is no time to consider so much. I stood up again and carried Junjiegua's body on my back. I stepped over the piece of human skin and kicked open the wooden door leading to the rooftop. The faint moonlight falls on my face. Only on the top floor of the building can one see the faint moonlight. Under the moon, I will make you, this harmful evil spirit, disintegrate and scatter into ashes, soul departing. I walked step by step to the edge of the teaching building, stepping onto the railing. Go to hell. With all my strength, I threw the body on my back out from the 4th floor. Roar. A deafening roar echoed in the corridor. Black smoke billowed as numerous monstrous ghost faces floated out from all directions, baring their teeth and claws, wailing like ghosts and howling like wolves. The sound of the body colliding with the ground came a few seconds later. At the same time, the gathered ghosts on the rooftop all disappeared into thin air. Yuanshin Evil Star in the corridor only managed to break free from Little Feng at this moment. He rushed to the rooftop, but unfortunately, everything had already been settled. The evil spirits turned into wisps of blue smoke, leaving only a thin, small boy standing in front of me. He was dressed in thin school uniform, and his blurry face gradually became clear. "It's you!" I blurted out 2 words, but strangely, I couldn't remember where I had ever met him before. "We will meet again." The boy turned into ashes in the moonlight, but his last words are deeply imprinted in my heart. "Is it over?" The sky was faintly lit up. I hobbled back up the stairs. The skin that was stuck to the ground also disappeared. Ingzi and Xiao Mu were also nowhere to be seen. Only the body was left on the cold steps. Little Feng, dressed in a wedding gown, sat still. "Thank you, girl." I reached out to pat Little Feng's shoulder, but she suddenly turned her head, scaring me half to death. The expression on her face was nothing a human would have. It was filled with hatred and pain. After a moment of contemplation, I finally understood. The fierce ghost from the Anexian Hotel had possessed Little Feng's body. No wonder the grudge was so deep. I did not withdraw my outstretched hand. I just gently embraced her shoulders to comfort her. "It's okay, Little Feng." Her eyes, filled with murderous intent, gradually became clear. Her expression slowly relaxed, but then her head tilted and she fainted to the ground. I picked up Little Feng and carried her back to the rooftop. The sky was not yet bright, and the mission of the underworld show had not stopped. I couldn't leave either. I put the phone and camera aside. I sat on the railing at the edge of the building, watching the silent and desolate campus. Tonight I struggled on the brink of death multiple times. If there had been a slight mistake in judgment, or slightly worse luck, I might have become a cold corpse a long time ago. And my soul would have been forever imprisoned here. Thinking of this, a chill ran down my spine. It is only now that I finally understand why Chi Xiao would avoid live streaming. This is really not a job that a living person can handle. I took out a cigarette and lit it quietly. Looking at the world beneath my feet, I really don't know which world I am truly in. Surviving a great disaster. There must be good fortune to follow. Destiny carries double malevolent stars. This is the first time I have seen the original. The popularity in the live stream room is still over 400. An exciting night. It's much more interesting than watching a horror movie. Taoist priest is still not resting. Aren't you practitioners supposed to focus on cultivating yourselves the most? It's blowing out smoke. I'm actually very grateful for this talkative and impressive Taoist priest. The kid is really not kind. Just now, this deity saved your life. Now you want to chase me away. I am not an ungrateful person. Why don't you give me an address? Tomorrow I will send you 2 boxes of homegrown eggs by courier. How about that? I have eaten plenty of delicious food. It's nothing special. It is quite rare for your little fate pattern. Is there a chance that I could meet you in person? I can't ask for it. Don't be afraid of Taoist priest jokes. I'm living from hand to mouth now. I hope you can give me some guidance when the time comes. I absolutely mean it. Fate has not arrived. We will meet when the time comes. The words of your cultivators are mysterious and unreliable. The more I listen, the less plausible it seems. Do you think I can live to see the day when fate brings me there? Not afraid of 10,000. Just afraid of a 1 in 10,000 chance. The person that Taoist priest Wani has set eyes on. Very tough luck. Kid. I'll give you a poem before I leave. You better listen carefully. As the red Luan and heavenly joy grace the Fate Palace, each step in pursuit of fortune unfolds effortlessly. Behold the peach blossoms, vibrant in their hue, heralding a multitude of noble encounters anew. What does this poem mean? I was about to ask when I saw a notification on my phone. Taoist priest Wani has left the live stream room. Seeing this situation, I was also at a loss. People who practice Taoism are always so mysterious. They come and go as if they are elusive ghosts. I sat quietly on the rooftop, watching the sun rise from the horizon. The golden light instantly dispersed all the gloom in the school. The live broadcast from Xianhu High School has also come to an end. As the sunlight shone on me, there was an additional message in the phone inbox of the Underworld show. The text message reads, "The live broadcast mission at Xianhu High School has been completed in the early morning. Receive a gift with a total value of 5,000 yen coins. Reward of 2 points. Complete the task for an additional reward of 1 point. Complete 3 games for a reward of 6 points. Exactly 9 points. High risk does bring high returns. This time's points are more than double the Xian Hotel's last time. Although I don't remember completing 3 games myself. But since Underworld show evaluates it like that, I am also very willing to accept, perhaps. Without revealing Xiao Mu's identity and continuing to disguise, I should be able to participate in more games. It's a pity. Thinking that 1 point represents 1 gold bar, I couldn't help but feel a bit distressed. Headless Ghost Grave Altar, 6 points. Usable Low-Level Ghost Servants, 6 points. Introduction to Destiny Principles Lecture Notes, 6 points. Enlightenment Pill, randomly unlock 1 acupoint on the body, 6 points. I just completed the second live broadcast mission for Xianhu High School. I see the new items added to the product catalog.